And so it begins. Howdy. Sky Blue Fox here with Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Craft. Now, unless you're blind, you've probably already guessed by now that this is a Minecraft map remaking The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This is not the full version. I've been in the Zelda phase, and I downloaded a zillion maps, and this was one I downloaded, and I thought it was amazing, so I decided to play it through a zillion times, and now I know its ins and outs, so I'm LPing it. This is not an entirely new project. There was one other project that I believe some other people on YouTube have done LPs, video walkthroughs, etc., etc. I believe they've probably done a much better job than I have, but self-deprecation aside, it was called Block to the Past, made by Peanuts386, I believe that was his username, on the Minecraft forums. And he remade the entire Light World and a little bit of the Dark World. But due to circumstances that I don't know, he's decided to stop work on it. And considering the size of the Dark World and all its dungeons and all that, I can't entirely blame him. But, then, after he decided to stop work on it, Amarok, also from the Minecraft forums, decided to pick up the slack, and he has gone into the map, done this entirely by hand. He hasn't used MC Edit. I'm not sure if there are any other map-making programs for Minecraft, but he has done all of this just in creative mode, survival mode, with the help of single-player commands. And I have to say he's done a very good job. Now, obviously, since this is Minecraft, there are differences. But, seeing as we've made it to the next cutscene, I will wait until we finish that. Later. And to dash all your hopes and dreams, you can't spin attack in Minecraft, obviously. but you can still fight, obviously. He's replaced the guards with zombies and zombie pigmen. Zombies have been reskinned to look like the guards from Link to the Past, while the zombie pigmen, I don't believe they've had any particular significant changes. But you might have noticed the golden sword. Now, he has included a language file that you can put into your language folder in Minecraft.jar to make items like the sword is the fighter's sword instead of the stone sword. Things say 1 rupee, 5 rupees instead of like gold nugget or wheat. On that note, I'll note off some of the differences. By now you've probably noticed that I have 3 hearts in the last spot on my inventory. Now, you get these from pots, as you probably guessed. These function as food. Eating hearts, grim as that sounds, restores your hunger meter, and if you've ever played Minecraft Survival, the higher your hunger meter, the faster your health regenerates. If your hunger empties all the way, you'll generally take a penalty to your health until you start refilling your hunger meter. In this game especially, due to the fact that spawns are generally controlled via dispensers and spawn eggs, it's generally a very good idea to keep your health and your hunger max whenever possible. Now, as you noticed, there's a differently colored stone. That's a dispenser. He advertises miles of redstone under the map, and while I can't say I've gone out of my way to measure this out, I believe that there's definitely a lot of redstone involved. It's pretty obvious that there's redstone involved, but how much, I think I would prefer to let that boggle me than actually try to find out. But, as you can see, we're in the Hyrule Castle basement, the first dungeon in the game, and that creeper just exploded without doing anything. I'm using Zom's mod pack. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I have set it up so that creepers will not explode, which in this map would be a good thing, obviously. Also, the sword, the lamp, my armor, they all have infinite durability, same as Zelda. Now you're probably beginning to notice the fact that rupees, certain bunches of rupees don't stack. Anyone who's played Minecraft probably realizes by now that this is a side effect of the fact that there are multiple items called 1 rupee with the sprite of 1 rupee. Multiple items that are 5 rupees with the sprite of 5 rupees, etc., etc. Anyone who's also played Minecraft will probably realize how much of a pain collecting rupees will be when our inventory starts filling up. Thankfully, as we'll see in probably the next video, each shop has a little bank chest where you can swap out rupees to free up space in your inventory. For example, if you have 5 green rupees, you can go to the bank chest, put them in, and take 1 blue rupee out, which I think was a very smart idea. Block to the Past also did this, but due to the fact that he's also added in custom sprite purple rupees, which function as 50, it's made even a little bit easier, since there's one part that we'll need a large amount of rupees for, and it's annoying to have to carry around a zillion things and not have room for the boomerang or the other items. Speaking of, you probably noticed that we got the boomerang. In fact, we got 16 boomerangs. Boomerangs replace the snowball. And unfortunately, this makes them somewhat useless. Anyone who's played Minecraft and used a snowball probably remembers that they don't really deal damage. They just do a little bit of knockback on the enemy, which they easily make up when they walk towards you again. So really, it's kind of useless. And I will see you after this. ₹5 ahoy. You don't actually have to take the painting, but if you like that warm fuzzy feeling of carrying Zelda around in your pocket, you can. It doesn't really affect anything. I mean, paintings can't really affect redstone circuits or anything, but as you may notice later, if you play this, you actually have to get Zelda before you can enter the Hyrule Castle sewers. Again, another redstone contraption. As you're about to notice from this zombie, enemies still have their rare drops. Yep, see, there's the blue mail cap, also known as the iron helmet, and a rotten heart, which you will never want to eat, ever. Just get rid of them. You won't use them, ever. Trust me. But, enemies still have their rare drops, but, according to the rules of the game, alongside other classic rules such as Super Nintendo Link can't jump, and you can't swim until you have the flippers, just get rid of the rare drops. The stuff you'll get from the dungeons is better anyway, because all the equipment, except for my armor, but that's different. All of these stuff, the bow, the sword, the master sword, the lamp, etc., etc., they all have a completely unbreakable enchantment. So, unless you want your stuff to break, just stick to dungeon items instead of rare drops. Now, as I was saying, this pink wool area here, this won't open unless you've gone down to get Zelda. So, now we head down to the actual dungeon part. The Hyrule Castle sewers, the Hyrule sewers, I don't know, they're just called sewers. But, as it is in the original game, it is really, really dark down here. And in this pot is a small magic jar. In the original game, they gave you that small magic jar so you could use your lamp on the torch. But in this, they replaced the raw chicken. And I'm assuming that big magic bottles probably replace cooked chicken. I don't really find the magic jars to be very useful. Since there's no magic in this game, both hearts and magic jars refill hunger. But since you'll probably have way more hearts than magic jars by the time you get your first one, it's just another thing cluttering up your inventory. I don't know what happened in that room there. Occasionally there are some glitches. As I said, this isn't the finished release. The Dark World isn't even totally finished yet. Like, it's 30% done, I think he said. But, sometimes enemies won't spawn. Sometimes I think it's because the dispensers shooting their spawn eggs out are so low to the ground. But I can't entirely say for sure. I've never really toyed with spawn eggs. But there you see me getting rid of another rare drop, the bow. Getting an item, the arrow. Torches replace melons, I think, since you can burn them however long you want, but they'll never disappear. It's a rather nice touch. Now, you probably noticed this a zillion years ago, but keys show up. They replace levers. That's how you open the doors. Duh. And, of course... Actually, now that I think about it, you could probably get rid of the lever. Actually, no, you probably couldn't. I was about to say that you could probably find a crafty way to reuse keys, but somehow I doubt it. And even then, if you want to stick to the rules, you wouldn't. Small keys are the worst, most fragile thing in Zelda games. But, this is an annoying room, because the skeleton and you move like snails in that water, and he can knock you back really far because of his bow, but you have no bow. You have the boomerangs, and in hindsight, that probably would have been a better way to go about fighting this guy. But either way, just eventually figure out a way to mash him into meaty paste. Or bone paste. Now this room has a small oversight that you probably see right now. You can see the chest under the pot through the... well, not technically, sort of through the water. That doesn't really show up in any other area in the game so far. So I can't really say it's that exploitable, but it's still kind of funny. Like, see, at that chest, there was a block instead of a chest. Now, this room is really, really, really annoying. Like, it's not even as annoying as the room just outside of the sanctuary, because there's a trick to that place. This just throws the cave spiders at you, and you're like, ah, and then they hit you a lot. And you can survive it. It's not that difficult. It's just sort of jarring for your first time, and it's kind of frustrating whenever you go through it again. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like, anyone who's played Minecraft and gotten ganged up by spiders probably knows what I'm talking about. Now, you probably noticed that cracked wall over there. We are not going to blow that open. The creeper could have blown that open, but thankfully he didn't, because of the magic of mods. Now, we encounter our first pushing puzzle. You probably noticed the pressure pads. The only problem I have with those is the fact that the first pressure pad makes the piston pop up, and then you have to step on it again once you've pushed the block to make the piston go down. So you kind of have to jump over the pressure pads. Now here's the second annoying room, but here's the trick to this. The spiders will all try and climb on the ceiling to try and get you because they're stupid. So then you just have to hit them off the ceiling and take them one at a time. That's a much easier way of dealing with this room than just rushing in willy-nilly. Now this last puzzle is 2 levers, one drops snakes, or in this case spiders, and the other opens the door. I'm not going to kill myself because I'm smart. So that's the end of this dungeon. So I'll see you next time in Kakariko Village.